Right. So I just realized that Matthew was a tax collector, for real. Um, Something I just thought, I was like, why was Jesus only hanging out with tax collectors, like, and prostitutes? But for real, no. Matthew did write the first book in the New Testament of the Bible. And this is who Jesus was hanging out with. And I thought it was really interesting. Jesus basically went up to Matthew and he said, "Follow me." And that was all he had to say. And I feel like the confirmation of the Spirit led Matthew to know, like, yes, I am making all of this money tax collecting, which oftentimes is a fraud, because what the tax collectors would do back in that time is they would say, well, you owe a little bit more than you actually owe. And then they would collect more from that person and then give to the Caesar or whoever what was theirs. So people hated tax collectors because they knew they were working for the government. They could do whatever they wanted, and they were essentially robbing them. And they were greedy men. Okay, Matthew was a tax collector. But when Jesus said, "Come," what did he say? He said, "Follow me." So he arose and he followed him. I don't know. I just thought that was cool. Another revelation I had was, um, now it says in Matthew 9:10. Now what happened is Jesus sat at the table in the house that behold, many tax collectors and sinners came and sat down with him and his disciples. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" When Jesus heard that, he said to them, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. But go and learn what this means. I desire mercy and not sacrifice. For I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance." And that makes me think of the verse, I desire obedience before sacrifice. He's saying, I desire mercy and not sacrifice. So, like, I kind of feel like even before obedience, like doing what God told you to do, following the Bible exactly the way that it says, before sacrifice, fasting, giving up sweets, doing a 40-day water fast, like, God, first and foremost, wants mercy. Like, he's calling you to mercy. Like, help that person who is in front of you. You know what I mean? Like the person who's hungry. Somebody's saying, one of my friends is saying, well, what if God has actually called you to a 40-day water fast? Isn't that the most merciful thing you can do? Yes, sometimes God does do that, but at the same time, I guess it depends on the person. I don't know, if you want to get into a debate about it, if you're like a prophet and God's like, this is the word of the Lord from heaven, like, you must do a 40-day fast right now, you know, um, like, that might be the most merciful thing. But, like, ultimately, like, I feel like helping the person in front of you, like, helping the homeless person, like, not walking by somebody. Like I'm saying, guys, Like, even think about this. Let's say you walk by a homeless person, and like, if you've dealt with homeless people before, which I have actually worked with homeless people before, part of me is like, excuse me, part of me is like, I don't really want to help you because I know exactly what you're going to go do with this dollar that I give you. But at the same time, it's the love behind it. Like, whether you give them a dollar, whether you give them food, even whether you just like smile and talk to them, sometimes a smile can make somebody's day. Like, it's happened to me before. Have you ever smiled at somebody and it just made your day? Like, I don't know if maybe you've been that broken before. I have. Maybe not. But I'm saying, like, regardless of, is it awkward? Sorry. I can start over. Either way, regardless of like whether you give them a dollar, whether you like show kindness to them, like even let's say your friend or your neighbor, like is there a person that you could intervene in their life right now and it would change their entire world? Like it would actually help them? You know what I mean? Like, let's do that first. Let's make that our number one priority and let God lead you. Don't just go out and, just do whatever. But like if God like shows you someone or something that you can do, like it may impact their entire life, their entire world.